Welcome back to another episode of the Unlimited Podcast. Today, we have special guest, Lee Kwai, filmmaker, editor, co-host of Command Zone Podcast, and the man behind Game Nights and Extra Turns, one and only Lee Kwai, my boy. What's good?
How's it? Thanks for having me, Cash.
I want to talk a little bit about your story and, before Game Nights, you were in the Hollywood filmmaking industry, gaming a little bit, tell us about what you were doing before Game Nights and what kind of led you to starting, you and Jimmy obviously starting Game Nights.
Sure. My background is in entertainment. I did movie marketing. I was a movie trailer editor for almost 15 years. I worked on Fast and Furious movies, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Force Awakens, a lot of big stuff.
Yeah.
First Avengers movie.
That's sick.
Transitioned into making magic content with Jimmy, which I think surprised a lot of people in my family.
And it's paid off for you in a big way. I mean, you guys have really changed the way that people consume Magic the Gathering. I think you guys make it so easy for people to learn and understand like that gameplay, for people who have never played the game. When I send them to watch your guys' stuff, they come back with a general understanding, which I think is very unique.
Well, I appreciate it. That was a goal of ours from the beginning for Game Night specifically when we created it. It was our love letter to Magic, but also if you didn't play Magic, I wanted you to at least be able to watch and generally follow what was going on. And, we always talk about emotion, like when we're talking to the person, like, hey, tell us your strategy and the specifics of why this card mattered because of this and why you sequence your hands and all this. But then at the end of that, just tell me how you felt.
Yeah.
So that that person who's never played before or maybe only played a couple of times. It's like, I didn't understand everything Cassius said, but at the end he was like, I was nervous about that. So I got that. So I can at least catch up. I can keep up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know the specifics, but Jimmy liked that and Cash didn't.
Before you get to that place where you guys are just doing everything at such an amazingly high level, what was like your light bulb moment where you were like, this can be a full-time career, and not only a full-time career, but like a major business? You guys have a full-blown media company.
I think as with most things, there wasn't like a light bulb moment. It was gradual, and it was the type of thing where like you suddenly kind of like turn around and look back and you're like, I guess we are a business. But there was no moment where you're like, we weren't and then we were. It was just like you kind of slowly got there. And I don't know that there was ever a singular moment where, either of us thought to ourselves like, okay, this is this now, and it was that before. So it was just all like little steps along the path.
And now you guys are doing these big shows at the Magic Cons.
The live shows, there's a lot of fun.
That is also really incredible what you guys are doing. Me and Jimmy kind of talked about this a little bit when he was on the podcast, and we were talking about how there's not like, because Magic the Gathering gameplay can be so intense, like, how like video games right now, you've got like thousands of people watching these games,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like what you guys are doing is like the beginning of working towards something like that, because there is no more complicated and more intense game than Magic the Gathering, especially when you get to like that really competitive, into the really competitive formats. It's pretty crazy, man. And like one little tiny mistake can cost you the game, man. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think the live shows have been a lot of fun. Jimmy and I were both like theater kids. I was a theater major in college. And so getting to go back to those roots was really, really fun when Wizards kind of came to us with the challenge of like, hey, we want to do a live show. What would that look like? And we kind of all put our heads together with our team. Our team's amazing. I don't want to give the impression that it's like just me and Jimmy.
Of course.
We've got this whole team of people that are, always throwing out ideas, and they come up with brilliant stuff all the time. So it's definitely not like all ideas coming from us. We were a little skeptical at first too, honestly, because it's like, I don't know, is anybody really going to want to watch this live? Like when it's edited, I have a lot of tricks. I can put some music under there. Right. I can like take out the boring parts. I can play up the big parts. I can take the card art and like animate it and have the dragon actually breathe fire.
For sure.
You can't do all that stuff in a live show. I don't think we're better than most people at like coming up with initial ideas. What we're really good at is iterating and sort of continuing to improve on it. So
execution.
It's been really fun though. I mean, who would have thought? I never would have thought when we started this in a million years that like a couple thousand people would be somewhere like chanting for you to, for Jimmy to attack me or whatever. Like, it's just crazy.
Honestly, I think you guys are really taking such a huge role in making like Magic grow in a big way. We're gonna obviously continue talking about Magic, but I kind of want to change it up a little bit and ask you some stuff about the trading card industry and just some interesting things happening. I know you're deeply entrenched into Magic the Gathering, yes, but I think some of these things are pretty much impossible to ignore. Recently, Kevin O'Leary, aka Mr. Wonderful, you familiar with the Shark Tank?
Oh yeah. So I live on this planet, Cassius.
Okay, I'm just like I know you'd be locked in. My bad. That was probably a little bit of an asshole question. Okay, so Kevin O'Leary, he invested into a 1-of-1 Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant double auto basketball card for close to $13 million. The biggest one before then was a Mickey Mantle. Do you think that Magic the Gathering could ever see some sales like that? Do you think we can reach those kinds of peaks?
I don't see why not. I think that like all collectibles in all sectors have sort of are trending in that direction.
For sure.
The question of like, could a Magic card be the top selling collectible of all time is a little bit tougher.
Yeah, for sure.
But things can change in the world and happen where like, you can go back 50 years and like comic books weren't that popular.
Right.
And then all of a sudden changes in technology and Hollywood and stuff made comics and comic book stuff the most popular things on the planet for a long time now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, anything can happen.
Just seeing now that Universe Beyond has finally started to bring people into Magic the Gathering that wouldn't otherwise be there, like Leonard Williams, having guys like him, you know what I mean, come into the game. It's awesome. Like we talked about it before the podcast started. Steve Aoki did something with Magic recently. More musicians and artists are coming out and like really getting into the game and making it known that they're in it. So Magic's in a good spot, man. I think we're definitely headed in a good place, at least from being so niche.
Yeah, I mean, I think that evolution from like this really hyper nerdy niche to like more mainstream, that evolution has been underway for a while now.
Yeah.
But I think Universes Beyond is like really sped it up. And I like to say that, the Final Fantasy thing is made possible by the Lord of the Rings part, which is made possible by the Warhammer stuff or whatever, pick whatever set you want in there. But Lord of the Rings, I think, was a really big fulcrum point because the ripples from that are just being seen now as far as the people that started and picked up Magic cards for the first time at that point. Because if you think of your Magic journey, it's not quick. You don't like... It takes people a while to start building their own decks and buying their own cards. So they kind of like buy a pre-con, play a little with their friends, and you only get together like once every couple of weeks. And then a few months in, you start, and then eventually the bug really hits you, and then you're online Googling stuff and like ordering cards. But that's like 6 months, maybe a year in. And that's where, we're kind of at that ripple. And then the ripple from Final Fantasy, I think is going to be kind of insane. So like in a year and a half from now, like I think like
big.
The people that really got hooked. And it took a little while for them to get reeled all the way in.
Yeah. I talk about this almost every podcast because it really like just makes me so happy and giddy. Is all of my employees that were not Magic players before, within the first year of them working for Cash Cards, they all are now fully hooked on Magic the Gathering. Now, when you work in a company that does a lot of Magic the Gathering content, obviously that's going to happen. But I think it just speaks to how easy it is to get into the game now comparatively to like before. There's so much more content on how to play, thanks to creators like you and other creators in the space, and there's just so many more sets, and like it's so much easier to find. Whereas like, dude, when I left for high school, I was obviously playing F&M like every night. I've been playing since I was 11. So I would go to F&M every Friday night, right? When I left, I thought there is no possible way that there was anybody playing Magic the Gathering at my school. And I went to UCLA, massive, you know what I mean? Bunch of nerdy. It never registered to me that somebody might be playing Magic. So I gave
it was so niche.
Yeah, because I was like, I thought it was just like my card store, here back in Simi Valley, Hidden Fortress. I was like, this is all the guys in the world that play Magic the Gathering. You know what I'm saying? And like, nobody else would be playing it, so I gave away my stuff. And 2 weeks in, I found a bunch of people playing Magic. So that was that.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I think it's easier to get in than ever, and it gets mentioned more just sort of offhand in the zeitgeist than it ever has. It's still like pretty niche and pretty nerdy.
Yeah, still for
but
sure.
I think like there's a tipping point somewhere.
Yeah.
And we're moving towards it. Is it really far away? I don't really know, but yeah. But every Post Malone that starts to play and talks about it on, all the stuff he goes on, it helps it a little bit.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us continue to make these videos, have great guests like Josh Lee Kwai and Jimmy Wong and all the other guests that we've had on here. It really helps us. So like and subscribe, please. Let's kind of get into your relationship with Magic.
Sure.
How'd you first get into Magic, and when did you start playing Commander?
Okay, so I was in this village, and the villagers told me about this mountain. So I climbed for 26 days and 25 nights, and there was a shrine at the top. And I went inside, and there was a monk, and I asked, and the monk said, "I'll answer any question in life for you." And I said, "Well, what is the meaning of life for me?" And the monk just smiled and stepped aside, and behind him was a Commander Precon.
Man, that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Awesome. And that happened all in your dreams? Yeah.
No, I had a friend and he learned how to play Magic, and he was like, "Hey, you might like it." So that's how I learned.
Yeah, I mean, it's generally pretty simple. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone always, if you're a Magic content creator, everyone always asks you like how you got into Magic, and like I hate to tell you, but I didn't get bit by a radioactive Richard Garfield. Like, it's just like a friend taught you. Like,
it's never that interesting.
Yeah.
So, what kind of decks do you gravitate towards now versus when you first started?
I always liked drawing cards, and I liked value. I think that was true early on. I've always been a Johnny, where I just like to build a weird machine with like weird interactions. Yeah. So I was doing that near the beginning, and I'm still kind of doing it now. Yeah. So
game nights in general, and just you in general, I feel like you like to see everybody play the game.
Yeah,
is,
to me, I treat it a little more like a board game, where like the social part of it, like
is important.
The poking fun at each other, and like the needling, and the making a deal and screwing over this person. Like, I like that part of it too.
No, for sure. Yeah. You are a top tier politician. Again,
I've toned it down a lot.
Have you?
Over the last few years.
I haven't. Yeah. I gotta go catch up on some.
In the early days, I was definitely like fully like, I'm the politics guy, and I'm just going to fully leverage it.
Diabolical, bro. Yeah, diabolical for sure. What's your favorite format outside of Commander, if you had to pick one?
Draft. I love to draft.
Okay.
I still draft quite a bit on Arena for most sets. I mean, Final Fantasy, as if they couldn't get more accolades, like one of the great draft sets of all time. Probably like insane, really good. That's awesome. So I think I get my more competitive from Magic draft. Like, I scratch that itch in draft, in one-on-one more.
That makes sense. Do you have a personal all-time favorite MTG set or plane?
Khans of Tarkir.
Okay.
Has a special place in my heart. I love, as a brewer, I love like lots of colors and the ability to like take a blue card and a yellow card and a red and green card and put them together, and they do something crazy.
Right.
So I love Khans. And then Rise of the Eldrazi is another set that I just really, really love. It's got huge stuff. It's got the level up creatures. It's a really fun draft set. Like, I like just the feel of it, of like gigantic things crashing into each. Gigantomancer is just a really cool card.
I imagine that was such a fun set to draft.
It's too bad that boxes are like over $2,000 or something now. But I am kind of a big collector of sealed products.
That's probably smarter, honestly.
Yeah, but the problem is like so I do have one box of Rise of the Eldrazi that I got years ago. I did not pay $2,000 for it.
Right.
But it's like $400 or $500 at the time. It was a lot.
Sure, still expensive.
But it's kind of sad because it's like, it feels like it would be stupid to open it. I would love to draft it, but that feels like it would be not smart to do, and that always makes me a little bit sad.
I get it. It at some point it does become like not smart to open this stuff, but we do it anyway.
Yeah, that's my problem. Is like, so I'll probably just never open it. Like, it'll just stay there. Like, that's just who I am. Like, a lot of that stuff that I had collected over the years, like it must sit there now because I can't do the not smart thing. I just don't have that in me. I don't know why.
Looking ahead, what one upcoming set or mechanic in 2025 excites you the most?
Well, there's only one set left. I guess there's two. Spider-Man's not out. Can I talk about a 20? Well, I don't actually know if it's 2026, but I think it's. Can I talk about something further out?
Yes, please. Yeah, absolutely. Just start.
We don't know anything really about it. They've just announced that it is going to happen. I don't think there's even a date.
Okay.
The assumption, I think, is that it's next year, but I'm not even sure they said that.
Right.
But we're going to return to Strixhaven. And and so that's all the information that we have at the moment. But I'm excited about Strixhaven because I thought that was a really cool plane.
Magecraft
had a lot of cool cards in it. You know, So again, I don't know anything about it. Okay. Will we get new schools or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's what so on the horizon of stuff that I'm excited about.
If you love Magic the Gathering, which if you're watching, you probably do.
Be weird if you didn't.
It would be weird. Join our new rewards program at cashcardsunlimited.com. Every pack, every box, every order earns you points towards getting more Magic the Gathering stuff. If it's free, it's for me. All right. So beyond hosting, what roles do you take on behind the scenes with production?
We have a big team,
right?
About 20 people now. So I don't want to give the impression that I do everything behind the scenes on everything, but I do different roles depending on the project all the time. So yeah, direct, produce, write, sometimes I'll even still edit, although I do that less these days. Yeah, I mean, I run the channel, so
just wherever you need
whatever hole there is, I try and plug it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And there's stuff I like to do, like depending on the project. It won't be like, hey, there's a hole that in the directing job that we need. Sometimes I'll be like, no, I want to direct this. This is gonna be fun.
Okay.
So I try and still do that. Although I tell my team all the time, like, you get to do all the fun stuff, and I took all the administrative, like, email sending part, and I try and balance that a little more these days, be cognizant. I'm like, I'm going to give somebody else the emails, and I'm going to do the fun thing sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. I think you deserve that. I think you deserve that. With that being said, what's the biggest challenge in making the show at such a high level?
To me, the biggest challenge with content creation at this level is just, that drive to be able to keep pushing. It's really easy. Yeah, it's really easy to just stagnate. So it's really important to us, and we always talk about, like, no, we did that already.
Yeah. What's next?
What's the step past that?
Right.
Because it's, otherwise we're stopped. So I don't ever want to stop. We got to be moving.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and sometimes you take a step and you're like, well, that was a bad direction. Let's go over here instead.
Yeah, you take a chance, though.
Yeah, you fail. And I think that's one of the things that, again, as a philosophy of the Command Zone that I'm really proud of is, like, listen, I just want to take big swings. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not interested in hitting a single. Like, let's just swing for the fences. It's okay. Sometimes you're going to strike out. Not a big deal. Yeah, not a big deal. Nice. But I just want to, that's who we want to be.
What's one of your wild dream projects, like, to create for the Magic community and fans? Like, if you can do anything, limitless budget, what would you create?
I think I'd want to create, like, the Magic movie or a Magic TV show or something. I don't know if you saw, we just did this big sci-fi project, which we had a ton of fun with.
Yeah.
And, I've just been thinking ever since we've done it, man, I want to do that more. Like, it was so fun.
Right past, Marvel and Spider-Man is one that I am incredibly excited about. The Avatar: The Last Airbender, bro. Yeah. As dope as Marvel and Spider-Man is, I think Avatar: The Last Airbender might even be cooler.
I don't know for sure, but there's probably more people, percentage-wise, within the Last Airbender fandom that get some sort of tattoo about it than Marvel. Who knows if that's true? But it feels that way. It feels like the people that do like The Last Airbender have a deeper connection to it, and there's a lot more casual fans of Marvel. And both things are good, and I think both things are good for Magic. Like, you build the welcome decks, which they're doing, around Spider-Man.
Right.
Makes a ton of sense, because every kid knows who Spider-Man is and is way more likely to pick up and learn Magic when it's got some familiar faces on it.
For sure.
But then you also do The Last Airbender, which people have really deep connections to.
Yes.
And, like, it's like, I don't know, it's like it speaks to their soul in some way, like you. And that's what Final Fantasy kind of felt like. Where there's not that many casual Final Fantasy fans, but evidently there are a ton of really deeply entrenched Final Fantasy fans.
Obviously, I have that deep connection, and a lot of people who
people do,
or have that same type of feel that I do. Like, they're like, oh, dude, like,
I feel like you either kind of aren't sure or haven't seen it, don't know what it is, or you just love it and you think it's the best thing ever. Like, those are the two sides.
Yeah, 100%.
for The Last Airbender.
If you've watched it and don't like it, I can't trust you. I cannot trust you. You watch Avatar: The Last Airbender and you tell me you don't like it, you and me can't be friends, and I will never let you in my home.
Wow. Wow.
That's that might be a little bit crazy. That's how I feel. Let's talk about the community.
Okay. Why'd you get so serious?
Because, listen, bro. I have a ton of love and appreciation for the community, and I also, at times, cannot stand a lot of things about the community. So it's always somewhere in me. It's just it's a love-hate thing for me personally.
Sure.
But it is such a beautiful thing because of of all of the things, all of the positive things just make it so amazing. Now, anytime you have a bunch of passionate people, there's going to be some negativity.
Right.
And honestly, like for me, when I first got my card stolen, the way the community came and like sent me so much stuff and so much love, like for somebody who really, I wasn't in need for it. You know what I mean? I could most definitely afford to replace my collection, but they sent it anyways, because I think at the time, with me being, you know, probably the first football player to actually like, you know,
they were just so excited. They were like, an NFL person plays Magic. We're not all nerds.
But yeah, exactly. But like to receive, like I still to this day am like so incredibly thankful and shocked that many people, like somebody sent me a full collector's edition thing, and there was no name. Like because I when I received a lot of this stuff, I kind of felt bad, you know. I was like, I want to send it back to the person, because when he sent me the collector's edition thing, I was like, this is worth.
Yeah,
at the time it was worth at least $4 or $5, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, man, that part of the community, when people go through things, the way the community comes and supports you and shows love and tries to like help people, that's probably my favorite thing about it. And obviously the gathering and the friendships and stuff like that. But what's the thing that you love about the community the most?
I mean, I think it's the passion. I think, you know, one of the great things is that we've been able to, because of our Game Nights live show, go to all of the live events for the, you know, all the Magicons.
Right.
And when you're at those, you really get to see the community on full display and how people just kind of come together, and it's like, yeah, come over here. And you see it all the time of just people just connecting with strangers and just being like, yeah, come in here and let's play games, or let's 100%. Like whatever. And like, you know, really Magic players have an instant connection over the game that a lot of people in different walks of life would never really have the opportunity or really the need to like connect with somebody else, but the game kind of gives them that excuse or that, you know, that connection. So I think that's the coolest thing is always to see is just people that are like, you know, it's like people you've sat down in events and played with all kinds of people, and they would never have come into contact with an NFL player in their life.
Yeah.
And known what to do or say or anything, but it's like, oh, no.
Oh, you play Magic?
Yeah, no, I counter your thing or whatever.
Yeah. No, I think that's the cool part for sure. If I don't know you and I find out you like Magic, we can be friends.
Yeah, and we have something to talk about.
We can be friends. We could talk about strictly Magic. Yeah. Like nothing else in life could possibly matter. We could literally just be homies purely because of Magic, and we'd like playing the game of Magic together.
Yeah,
like, I think
and probably football could give you that connection on another side with somebody else, and like filmmaking could for me, and we all have those things.
Mm-hmm. I think football, yes, but not in the same way as Magic. I think Magic is a little bit unique because no matter what kind of person you are, if you like Magic, I can, you know what I mean?
Get you a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Because like in football, it's like maybe you're a Cowboys fan and I'm a whatever. You know what I mean? So it's not always like, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like it's like, oh, you like the game, and because it's still so niche, right? And like when I find those people, I'm instantly like, I've checked out at grocery stores, and the dude checking me out's like, oh, like I recognize you from Game Nights, and I'm like, yeah, bro, you play Magic? That's sick. Like, what deck do you play? I've got like a list of questions that I can go through and like make a connection with that person. You know what I'm saying? With football, it's like, oh, you like football? Like, you're a football fan? Yeah, I'm a football fan. Who do you like? The Cowboys? Okay.
Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah, I get that. I guess I was thinking of a football player, somebody who
football players for sure. Yeah.
Oh, but I guess we're all Magic players, so it's a little bit different. Yeah.
The pool is definitely bigger for sure. Yeah, that's definitely one of the cooler things for me. What do you want to see more from MTG content creators? And then, you know, before you answer that, can you just give me like 5 names of content creators that you really enjoy consuming?
Okay. This was one of the harder questions when I saw the outline.
Yeah.
What I want to see more from content creators. Yeah, okay. I had to think about this one more than most. The 5 creators, I mean, I still watch Prof all the time. He's one of my best friends, obviously, but I love what Prof's doing, and he's pretty innovative. He experiments a lot. He has his staple stuff that he goes back to, but you can see him like trying things, and that'll lead into my answer to the question later here. Nitpicking nerds. I really like what they do. They have interesting discussions. Salubrious Snail is a YouTuber that does really analytical breakdowns of like how cards work and stuff. Alex is his name, and he's doing really cool and interesting stuff. How many was I supposed to name?
5.
5. I'm trying to... Commander at Home, obviously, is doing really cool gameplay stuff. Olivia and Kibble are good friends of ours. It's like, oh boy, I only got one left, and it's like, anybody I leave off the list, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But this is just like first ones that come to mind. I mean, there's so many amazing content creators.
You mentioned him earlier. Yeah. There's a lot of amazing people, and I'm really sorry for anybody that I left off. But you mentioned him earlier. Ben Bateman, I think, has been doing some really cool stuff. He's doing a lot of short form content on TikTok, which I think is great, and I'm a big fan of Draft and Limited, which I know Ben is, and so I think, I like sort of the area that he's exploring and the path that he's sort of, treading.
Over the last year, he's been good.
Yeah, so to answer the question, I think that leads into, like, what do I want to see more of from MTG content creators is I just want them to experiment more. I think, and it's partially my fault, but there's a lot of similar content out there. There's a lot of Commander gameplay content out there. There's a lot of stuff that just feels like other people's versions of stuff. I would encourage everybody out there to like take some of their time to like try something different. I think there's more stuff that people would find and we would find as a community that we don't know about if the creators would just feel a little bit more free to explore and be okay to, like I said, strike out sometimes.
Yeah, strike out. Yeah,
it's okay. 100%. Strikeout's not so bad. That's like all the best batters stroke out sometimes.
I like that take a lot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that to heart. You know what I mean? Try and do some new things around here.
Yeah, you don't have to be undefeated. It's not boxing, right? Like you don't feel like
things. It's like putting in a new play in your playbook. You know what I mean? If you've got the same old playbook, everybody knows what you're doing. Spice it up, put some new stuff in there.
And I think for newer creators, that's an area where you have sort of the biggest upside because if you do find that thing,
find your niche.
Yeah, you found a thing that nobody else has got. Mm-hmm. And that's a pretty, strong and good place to be.
Yeah, and just do it better than everybody else.
Yeah.
You don't do that one thing better than everybody else, I think, a lot of people have made a lot of money on just being good at really good at one thing.
If you think about most restaurants you like in the world, I bet they have one dish.
One dish that
They probably have a lot of stuff that's good, but they probably have one that gets stuck in your head at some point. You're like, I have to go there and order that.
This is our last segment here.
Okay.
So we're gonna go just rapid fire questions. First thing that comes to mind, just spit it out. Okay. Favorite commander you've ever built?
It changes, but right now it's Miss Bumbleflower, I think.
A card you can't resist putting into decks, even if it doesn't belong.
Rhystic Study.
It always belongs.
Yeah, people need to stop whining about Rhystic Study, by the way.
Rhystic Study so much.
Listen, there are cards that make all spells cost 1 more. Nobody plays those cards. And that is just what Rhystic Study should be. And if it's not that, it's your fault.
I gotta ask this question. I literally cannot resist it. You know how much I hate the ban list, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think there are a lot of cards on the ban list that don't deserve to be on the ban list.
I'm a proponent of a bracket level 6, which is a no ban list. Which I think would be cool, and people could choose to play in or not.
Because
if once you have that list, why not? Bracket 6. Nobody has to play in it that doesn't want to, but everybody that's playing in it knows.
It's the same thing as CEDH. Proxies are a thing. You know, it's whatever.
I don't think you're supposed to say that when you own a shop, though.
Yeah, I mean, but I also try to be fair to people who can't afford. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, if you have Black Lotus in your format, then it's going to be proxied.
We host a CEDH tournament at the end of every single month, right? And we allow proxies because I want people to come in and play like CEDH because I love CEDH, and it's expensive, bro. Like it costs a lot to build like a competitive deck. It just does, and I obviously make decks a whole lot more expensive than they need to be, but like even if you don't, like I think the cheapest like real CEDH deck that you can make is probably like $3,500. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So it sucks if people just can't participate because they can't afford the entry, the price of entry. Yeah. No, I agree. But I'm just saying, like, bracket level 6, there's nothing stopping anybody from doing it.
Do it. Bracket level.
That's the great thing about Commander, and I think its greatest like advantage or its greatest asset is like Play it however you want to.
Flexibility.
Just play it however you want to.
100%.
All you have to do is find 3 other people that are willing to play it that way.
It is what it is. That's my quick rant on the ban list.
Okay. All right.
I appreciate you. All right. Let's get back to these last couple of mechanics. One mechanic you'd cut for Magic forever.
I think the initiative.
Okay.
It's really annoying to track.
Yeah.
Yeah. That are like mutate.
Dream guest you'd love to bring on to game nights.
Taylor Swift, I think. Easy.
What?
Easy money, Taylor Swift, yeah.
I am so shocked by that answer.
Why?
Does she like Magic?
Oh, you mean that I know? No, I'm just saying like dream.
Okay.
You said dream. You said the word
if you can
dream.
Okay, my bad. Okay,
dream guest.
I just was shocked like that. Like, I mean, I know she's.
By the way, we know she has been in the orbit, or I guess he's been in her orbit of Post Malone, and I've been around Posty, and he will mention Magic to everybody around him.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so it's she's at least heard the words. I would say there's a high chance Magic the Gathering.
Dude,
I mean, it would immediately like. I don't know what the numbers are. Watsy says the number of women that play is like 30%, but that's we all know that's not true. I don't know what the real number is. But like if Taylor Swift starts playing, the percentage she would have an immediate impact on the percentage.
Even if she just showed a general interest, even if she just sat down and was willing to learn how to play, that would be enough to
get a lot of women to try it.
Millions of women to at least search what is Magic the Gathering and like.
Well, and I think the great thing about Magic is we know if you try to play it, there's a pretty good chance you'll like it.
High percentage.
It has nothing to do with being a man or a woman. There's nothing about it that's like intrinsic to gender. So it's just traditionally, I think it's been a sort of a nerdy male pastime, and like shredding that. That framing is tough. Yeah. But there's nothing like one of the best Magic players I know is Rachel Weeks. She kicks my butt all the time.
Good. Yeah. No.
So,
and some of the women, a lot of women are very good.
There's nothing about Magic that women can't be good at or can't like. So it's just getting them to try it is sort of the big hurdle. And I think Taylor Swift is the person that would get the most women to try it.
100%. Watsy, if you get Taylor Swift into Magic, you. Man,
every brand of every company in the world is like, if we could just get Taylor Swift.
We could just get Taylor.
Yeah, 100%. So get in line, Watson.
That was such a good answer. It shocked me, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, damn, that was a genius answer right there. I mean, Josh, you blow my mind, buddy.
Can I tell this? Do you remember the capsize story? Can I tell the capsize story? Do you remember this?
No, I think.
So this is actually in this game was also Josh Murphy, who's Murph, who directs game nights now and is the lead of our game nights team. But this was like, I think I just met him during this game. But anyway, it was like GP Vegas circa 2015, maybe 2016, 2017, somewhere. It would have been 2017 because we didn't know you in 2015, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it was 2017, might have been 2018. Anyway, we're at a game. It's on Sunday. We sit down to play, and you're like, I'm flying out in an hour or two, and I got one more game. So we're in this game, and something happens, and you go to like to put like an aura or something on one of your creatures, and I'm like, you have lightning greaves on, which gives shroud. You can't do that. And you're like, oh, okay. And I go, but you can move the greaves over to this creature and then cast it on that.
Yeah.
And then move the greaves back. And you're like, oh, okay. And you move the greaves over to this other creature, and you go to cast the aura on it, and I go, cool, capsize the thing. Do you remember this?
I don't.
But you get up from the table and you go, I gotta catch my blade, and just pick up your whole thing and leave.
I don't remember this, but I'm telling you, like, that's exactly how the story ended for sure. I was like, I'm done with this.
And all of them, I'm laughing because we've been friends for a while at this point, but they're all like,
they all thought I was just
so
mad. Yeah, I mean, I was, but dude, like,
you're like, and you're like walking around. I was seeing LA, bro. You're like,
yeah. It's an ongoing joke that like, if you really do something super nasty to me, like, there's probably like a 70% chance that I'm gonna sue. 100%. This is the final question right here.
Okay.
So amazing having you on, by the way, man.
Thanks for having me. It was fun to come see your new digs.
I appreciate it, brother. And our friendship has been so valuable to me, man. You're such a cool person. I'm so glad that Watsy connected us, all
those years ago.
then. Like, hey,
it's been almost 10 years now, Cass.
Yeah, these guys are making the show. Go check them out. They're in LA. But anyways, man, I appreciate you coming out, taking the time. I know you're a busy man, so it's been great having you.
Well, thanks for having me, man. Of course, anytime.
All right, brother. Well, all right. Last question. What's your bold prediction for the next big shift in Magic format, design, or community?
So I think probably within the next few years somewhere, and we probably won't know about it in the next few years. It'll probably take a few more years from there before we really start hearing about it. But my guess is like whatever the next big format is, somebody will like invent or start playing.
Okay.
Or maybe it's already happened and we don't really know about it. Somebody somewhere. I have my predictions. I think Commander may evolve to like larger decks or something like that. 200 card decks. Something that like resets us back a number of years.
Whoa.
Because it's starting to get pretty fast and the speed of it starts to kill what we liked about it, which it makes less cards viable. And so the singleton format, the 100 cards, the 40 life, those were temporary fixes for that problem. It's always going to keep condensing down. All formats do, right?
Right.
As power creep happens.
Okay.
So there might be another solve for it, another format, another setup. You know, the great thing about Magic is it is just a rules set, and you can play it in a bunch. It's like basketball. You can play 3v3, you can play horse, you can play 21, you can play 5-5 with a ref, without, like all kinds. Magic's like that too.
Yeah.
And Commander just happens to be the current most popular way to play, but it won't be the most popular way to play forever. Maybe we'll go back towards draft or something like that.
Yeah, or modern.
Yeah. More modern. I think the competitive formats, the tournament stuff, I have a hard time believing Magic will go back towards that. I think it has discovered that most people play games for fun. And, you know, I know you're a competitive guy who played professional sports, but like most people are trying to escape thinking about their bills.
Yeah, the majority of people.
And their deadlines at work and whatever, right? They just want to have a beer, laugh with their friends, escape their daily lives. Magic is not something they want to turn to a job or make competitive.
It's probably 80% of people, or 80 to 90% of the people.
They don't want it to add stress to them. They want it to take away stress from them.
I agree.
So I have a hard time believing that we'll go back towards the majority of Magic being tournament stuff like it used to be. That stuff should always exist and will always exist, but I don't think it'll be the main component of Magic. But whatever that other new format is, whether it's just a variant on Commander or something totally different, I think it is going to happen. The question is when, and probably within the next 5 years or so is my guess.
Commander's been ruling for probably the last
about close to a decade.
Yeah, I'd say it's
like 6 or 7 years.
Say like at least 6 or 7 years. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and in 5 years from now, it will have been about 10 or 11 years.
Yeah.
And it'll probably still continue to be the major for even longer than that. But like that transition maybe will start to happen, and maybe in 15, 20 years. Commander is kind of like we look at draft or something now, where we'll be like, remember when all the videos online were about Commander?
I know.
Now they're about this other thing.
How interesting. I such a great answer, bro. I'd never in a million years think, like, to me, in my mind, like, I just can't ever see Commander dying because it's so, to me, it's so good. But again, like you were saying, Magic, you can change a couple of different rule sets, and
I don't think Commander is what you or I necessarily love about Magic. It's just an embodiment of what we like. The puzzle aspect that you like is achievable in a lot of different formats, and I think there's other setups that could work. Who knows what those rules and what those guardrails are?
I think what Commander allows you to do is the thing.
Yeah,
like whatever you like, Jimmy. You guys just had a video about this, right? Like, obviously, guys, if you are not watching or following Game Nights, make sure you guys go subscribe. Best Magic content by far. But I think Commander, everybody wants to do the thing, and I think Magic or Commander allows you to do whatever thing it is that you want to achieve in a Magic game, whereas majority of formats, there's only a couple of things that you can really
are viable.
Do. Yeah.
That's why I think, 200 cards or something may be the answer, because it doesn't say, hey, you can't play certain cards.
why don't we experiment with this? Like, you know what I mean? Let's try it out. Let's try
interesting. You should say that, Cassius.
Yeah, interesting. You should say that. I'm sure he's already got plans for this. Yeah, well, I would love to be involved in this. I want to build a 200 card commander deck.
Right? Sounds fun.
I mean? Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, I've already started doing that because we've got some content eventually that we may build around it just to try things out like this.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's really freeing. All of a sudden, you're like, yeah, that card. Holy crap! I've always wanted to put this card in a deck.
I know, because like deck lists are so hard. Like
you're always cutting those cards that you were like, this seemed really cool, but like I just don't have room because I know these other cards that I always play are awesome. And all of a sudden, when your deck list, when you've got 200 cards, you're like, oh yeah, I can put in this card I've always wanted to try, and this one always seemed cool, and because I need to get to 200.
Yeah, and then all the like kind of quote unquote like bad lands that what I mean, you don't play typically anymore. Like you gotta play those cards.
It's nice too. It slows down the format in theory enough that like some of the cards that wouldn't be good enough to play are, because there's not as many 2-mana rocks, so you're just not going to get off to the crazy starts all the time that you would. It really resets us to like 6-7 years ago. I didn't mean to come on here and sell a 200 card format.
No, I'm 200 card format. Like, dude, you've intrigued me, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying whatever the next thing is, I bet it'll start to happen because I believe Magic will be around for a long time.
Yeah,
the game is just that strong. So there are going to be a lot of evolutions over the course of the next X amount of decades and whatever.
Yeah.
Long past when we're gone.
For sure.
So what are they going to be playing? When we're in the ground somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's probably not Commander. It's probably some other format. And so where did that have to come from? Like 100%. It had to be developed, and so.
Great answer. Great answer. I don't know how to follow that up, guys. But, thanks for coming to another episode. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. Again, man, just a massive thank you to Josh for coming out. And, yeah, man, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, Cash. It's always a pleasure, brother.
Yes, sir.